it, I'll put a link up in my description box. Let's take a quick look. I believe it's right here. Yeah, so that's the effect. It's a little jumpy on the computer, but... So this is actually going to be broken up into two parts. We're going to do, this video will be that part where it fires out, and then we'll do this part in another video, and I'll just link them together so you just watch them. And the reason why is because this was actually, I used particular on this one, and I only used a solid for this one, surprisingly. Definitely you could have gotten away with using particular for that too. I just wanted to see if I could, and I actually animated this all in 3D space, so that's why it required a little bit more advanced stuff like particular to be able to get the effect looking good. I couldn't get it good with a solid, but if you don't have particular, then you can at least achieve that effect. See if I can pause it right out there on the spot. There it is. So we can get that. Okay. So let's hop to it. Jump into After Effects here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my footage, and that would be 1676. So we'll look in my very unorganized composition here, my project files, and right here. Okay, and I'm going to drag this into a new composition, and I'm going to find the place where I think he does it. Let's see. I want to say it's like right here. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just start. We'll just say it starts right there. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is create a new solid and black, and we're just going to call this flare. And I'm going to put optical flares on this. If you do not have optical flares, you might be able to get away with going into Effect, Generate. Let's see, where is it? What do they call it? Lens flare. And you'd have to add it. And you might, you know, do something like that. Or 35. There, that looks okay. So if you don't have optical flares, it won't look quite as good, but you can still achieve a similar effect. And then you would just animate this by clicking the stopwatch here and then going forward and then having it fly off. But I happen to have just bought optical flares, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm going to go into Effect, Video Copilot, Optical Flares. Okay. We could change this by going into Options here. And I honestly don't remember the exact one I used. I'm checking here real quick, see if I can find something similar. Let's go with this. Then let's do a global color of kind of a blue. That looks not bad. And then if you want, in here you can go in and you can even adjust the colors of the individual elements. But that takes some time, so I'm not going to go and do that for every one. But I think this was actually the one I used. So I'm going to hit OK. And there you have it. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit P. Bring up the... Actually, we're going to actually keyframe in optical flares. And we're going to do position XY. And we are going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4. How about 4? And we're just going to have this zoom off somewhere over here. Okay, so if we scroll back through, that doesn't look too bad. We can even keyframe the brightness by hitting the stopwatch here, put it at 0, go forward 2 frames, even 3 frames, and let's bring that up to like 90. Okay, let's see here. If you hit U, it'll bring up all your keyframes. Let's do that. Okay. Something like that. Okay. I might drag that out a couple more frames. And that doesn't look too bad. And then what you'd want to do is maybe just drag it even farther off screen till it kind of disappears. Something like that. You can mess with those yourself depending on how far it's going. That looks okay for now. We'll leave that. The next thing I want to do is I want to create a new solid. So let's turn off the flare for right now, and let's create a new white solid by going layer, new solid, and let's change this to white and make sure it's comp size by hitting this button right here. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off the eyeball, and we're going to get out the pen tool, and I'm just going to draw a little let's see, let's just draw something. Oh, hang on, I got Roto Bezier on right now, which kind of makes all my masks curved, which can be handy, but I don't want that right now, so let's start over there real quick. Okay, so something like that. Then let's turn the white back on. Let's actually turn the flare back on too. I'm going to hit M on the white solid, and that's going to bring up the mask path, and I'm going to hit the stopwatch. Then I'm going to go forward. Okay, so here we go. Go forward, and I'm going to bring the mask down back to the wand. And notice I have this kind of fifth point right here, just kind of right where the wand tip might be. I'm just going to bring this forward, something like this. You want to keep this pretty skinny. You don't want to get too insane with it. Try and center it up as best as possible. That looks okay. Let's see. Let's go. You can select all of the keyframes, or I mean all the mask points. I mean, if you just hit one of these keyframes, which is kind of handy. And let's just drag this further this way, and let's go one more. Okay, and then this is kind of up to you when you want it to start kind of coming off the wand. I say let's just do it right here. So we'll bring this up. You can kind of click and drag, and you can select more than one mask point at a time. Let's drag this off frame like this. Maybe go one or two more, and drag the whole thing and go off frame. So if we look real quickly, let's take a look at the full screen, and we can turn off the mask by hitting this button right here, and let's just scroll through here. Okay, that might be a little slow. We'll take a look in a second, but that's not bad, and we're making good time. So next thing we'll do is we will hit select the white solid, and we will hit Command Shift C on a Mac. And I want to move all attributes, and we're going to call this glowy thing. Glowy, that's fine. Hit OK. Let's see. Okay. Then we're going to do what we normally do when we're trying to make something glow. And we're going to create a new solid and make it black. And hit OK and hit OK. Drag that below the white solid. And then we're going to create a new adjustment layer. And we are going to add a fast blur to that by going into effects and presets and typing in fast blur. Double click that, hit repeat edge pixels, and bring the blurriness up to 5. Let's go with 5. This is all experimental. You can kind of mess with your own settings here. Whatever looks good to you, honestly, that's really the most important thing. So we're going to select our adjustment layer, and we change the mode to add. You might need to toggle the switches and modes by hitting this button down here. So let's duplicate our adjustment layer 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing Command D on a Mac, but you can also select it and go into Edit and click Duplicate. So we're going to go to the second one here, and we're going to change it to, let's go with 20. Change the blurriness to 20. Then let's go to 40, and then 200. And basically what you're creating is something similar to what a lightsaber would look like. So if we were to put some color on this, we would have a interesting looking lightsaber. So let's go back here into our previous composition, and we're gonna have to change the glowy to add because we have that black solid there, but that is necessary, so don't try and skip that step because none of the blurs will work if you try it. So this might be a little wide, so if we decide to change that, we can go back and kind of thin that mask out. But for now, we'll leave it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think I'm going to want to add a vector blur to this. So we're going to type in effects and presets vector. And I'm going to double click that. Oh, I'm going to drag that and bring it onto glowy here. and I'm going to put the amount around 20. Okay, see, that thins it out a lot actually, so that's not bad. Come on now. Alright, yeah, that's not too bad. Like I said, we can thin this out even more if we wanted to. The vector blur just really gives it a nice kind of energy feel. Like, we use it a lot here, so, whatever. Anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Let's type in turbulent displacement, and let's drag this over here, and we're going to actually stick this, I'd say let's stick this above the vector blur, so you can just kind of rearrange it. And we may have to drag this around, because sometimes the vector blur, the turbulent displacement can come force the whole thing off the wand here, which is a problem. So we can maybe mess with the amount. Yeah, if we bring that down, and if we change the size, yeah, okay. So we're gonna have to adjust this a bit. So let's start experimenting here. Let's bring the complexity up to around 2.5, somewhere in that general vicinity. Let's put the amount up to about 25, and let's put the size up to 58. So we're going to bring that down actually. There we go. That's something we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, this is just too thick for my taste. So we are going to go to the white solid here, and we're going to adjust the mask a tad. And if you're fine with how it looked, then by all means skip what I'm doing right now, but I want it a little thinner. Let's see, I'm going to hit M to bring up the mask path, kind of just go in here and adjust it real quick. This might not get affected too much, but hey, at least I tried. Okay, so we just thin that out a little bit. Still not perfect, but we could increase maybe the amount. No, I don't want to increase the amount. We could increase the size. Something like that. Okay, so that's not too bad. That is similar to the effect that I had. It's just a little thicker. Okay, so the next thing we'd want to do is we want to I kind of wanted to give this whole thing a bit of a blue look, so what I did was I created a new solid, and I went into the color and went for kind of a bluish color here, and we changed it to add in the add mode here, and it already gives it an interesting effect. And let's turn the eyeball off for a second. Let's go backwards a few frames. Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna hit T, bring up the opacity, bring this down to 0. Scroll up maybe 1 or 2 frames, yeah. Let's go all the way and bring this up to let's see. Hang on. Alright, see, this is all just this is kind of whatever your preference is. I don't know how bright you'd want to go. I kind of feel about this is like the limit of acceptability. You don't want to go too much higher than that. So we'll leave that on to maybe here, and you can create another keyframe of what the settings already are. If you go over here into the left corner and hit add or remove keyframes at current time, we're adding one since there's not one already there. And then I'm going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to decrease this. So if we look through, let's run a preview real quick. Oh, and on a side note, I am not limited to 15 minutes of time anymore, so thankfully I will be able to spend more time on each tutorial. I mean, I'm not going to try and make them 45-minute tutorials or anything like that, but it's nice to be able to have a little longer than 15 minutes. And this is just annoying, him screaming reducto. So let's just scroll through this without hearing him scream. Okay, and so immediately I noticed that we have the glowy thing on longer than it should be, so I'm going to scroll to the point where it should be starting, and I'm going to hit Option left bracket, and that'll bring the composition to that point right there. And so you see it's gone now. And you can also hit Option right bracket to end that layer. I shouldn't say composition, but this is a pre-composition. So yeah, that's kind of the general idea. And what else could we do with this? We could adjust the width of that if we had more time and we wanted to. We could add some, maybe even more lighting, and maybe do some exposure here if we felt like it. Maybe some color correction. I mean, we could let's see, add a new adjustment layer, and let's go with curves. Type in our effects and presets, and double click that, and we can kind of bring down. We're going to bring everything. No, not too much. Let's drag this below. Actually, let's just apply this to the footage. That would be much better in my opinion. So let's give it some contrast. Why is that not looking good? Probably because we're looking at a frame that's... Alright, there we go. Yeah, that looks kind of good. Kind of good. Kind of good. Better than it did. Let's see. I don't know. I guess that's up for debate. Color correction is kind of a finicky thing. It can take a long time to get just right, and then you'll look at it again and you'll think it looks like crap. So, kind of lower the reds. I don't know. Let's look. But that is the basic idea. Basically, you're creating this trail, and if I scroll through here real quickly, it should be right here. No. Come on. Seems like once a tutorial, my computer decides to. It's my external hard drive. Slows down for a second. Okay, so here you can see I actually did the same exact thing, except from me shooting it out, showing a little bit of body there, completely intentional. And see, that's more of the thin look. And as you can see, it's not perfectly on the wall tip, but because it's only one frame, you probably couldn't tell too much. Now you're going to go back and look, but as you can see, if we look at what I did to it, I added a turbulent displacement, we had a vector blur, and then we had a color balance, which is something I didn't do. So let's go real quick and do that. I knew I was missing something. I was just stalling. I was just using stalling techniques till I could figure it out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Effects and Presets, type in Color Balance. And we're going to add this to the glowy thingy and drop that down. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit Preserve. Well, see, this is kind of also a little bit of a finicky thing, because Preserve Luminosity, sometimes it's completely necessary and sometimes it's not. So it's really best to eyeball it. But what you're going to want to do is increase your highlights and your midtones. Preserve luminosity. And that doesn't look like it did a whole lot, but it did. Possibly. Yeah, so if we look closely here, it's just giving it a blue kind of R around it, and it's looking a little bit better. If we solo this and we off and on, not bad. Why it looks so much better there? Why is it looking so fat? Why? Where are we going here? Hang on. So, that's really odd. Why it's so. Oh, you know why? It's because of the flare. The flare happens to be kind of affecting it. That's why it looks so insane. So if we take the flare, like I said, this is all about, trial and error, and obviously I'm still trying and erroring as I'm showing you this. But so if we take that and we can actually decrease the brightness is what we'd want to do. So if we bring that down, maybe to something like that. That looks a little better as far as the width of it all. So that's basically this part of the tutorial. I'll have the next tutorial up within a day for the particular portion, which is actually my favorite effect in the whole video. So thanks for watching. If you have ideas for future videos or tutorials or effects or anything like that you want to know, please leave the ideas or questions or comments in the comment box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please like it, and please say something nice. Alright guys, take it easy, and I'll talk to you soon.